there. Today we are lucky enough to be interviewing Lia Cirio that I got to meet as a result of sponsoring Boston Ballet's choreographer. Got to see her in the studio, which was super exciting. And she's going to be one of our choreographers that we're talking about her work, her creative process, and then thoughts generally about what DDP can do to move the culture forward and bring forward more women leaders. So welcome, Lia.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your background from dance to when you first started thinking about choreography.
So I was raised in Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia, and danced since I was 3, and around 14, I realized I could do it as a career. And so I started studying at another school called Central Pennsylvania Youth Ballet, and then I auditioned for Boston Ballet when I was 16 and got hired by Miko Neeson, our director.
Okay.
And yeah, so I went through the ranks and was a soloist in 2008. And then in 2008, I decided to take a little sabbatical from ballet, and I worked with a contemporary company, Trey McIntyre Project.
Fantastic.
And, yeah, so that really gave me a different perspective.
Mika was supportive of you taking a sabbatical?
Yeah, strangely, he was very helpful. And I think he kind of knew, because I had started at such a young age, 16 is very young to be a professional dancer or just be a professional in general. And so he was very supportive. He allowed me this year, but then I saw him when I was gone, and he was like, "Are you ready to come home yet?" And I was like, I am. And so
that's really sweet. I was going to say it's a long time with one company, so a break probably was a great thing. It was very smart of him to be encouraging and let you do that. Yeah. So let's talk about, you got promoted, you're not in the Corps anymore, you might have a little bit more time, and talk about the process of being on the other side of the room.
Being a choreographer has really just been super special for me. I never thought that I would do something like that. And each time I've tried to push myself to add more dancers and to add a more complex story or a more complex idea. Being at the front of the room can be daunting, and working with huge caliber dancers like my peers, it can be tough, and there are strong personalities, and you have to work with it, and you have to figure out the best way to get the product that you want. So I've learned a lot in that way.
So interesting, because in talking to, I think it was both Claudia Schreier and Amy Hall Garner about that, I asked about, are there 3 or 4 dancers that, are your go-to that will help you move your conception forward? Sounds like you were that person for some other choreographers, but I would also imagine that there is a point where you have to be the boss and just say, no, I know what I'm doing here. This is the direction we're going to go.
I've always been the muse, and now I've noticed when I'm being choreographed on, I'll say, hey, I just don't feel like this is working, and I'm super honest. I might be too honest because
that's great though, right? Feedback.
And it's been, I think I've seen it help a lot more with the choreographers I've worked with. So I think I've learned, because I'm in the front of the room, sometimes I can see things in a different light. And when I choreographed the piece for Boston Ballet School, I was being choreographed on by Forsyth for 6 hours a day, and also rehearsing Cinderella and things like that, and choreographing on my lunch break. So
wow,
I really spread thin, but I remember coming out of that season like feeling like I was thriving.
So tell us about your first work, Stairs, for choreographer.
So Stairs is super special to me because it is my first work, and I think I wanted to really work with the dancers that I chose and really show off what they could do. It was important for me to have that work because it really established my style, my vocabulary.
What have you been doing to stay productive during this time?
It's been tough. I of course have been doing bar and working out. I just bought a stationary bike, so I have that to do my cardio. After our Carmen show was canceled, I felt very sad. I was kind of wallowing and just laying on my couch and just not doing anything. And I'm happiest when I'm busy. And so I was like, you got to snap out of this. I was thinking about it. What can I do to feel like I'm helping in some way? And so I developed this little campaign called Art Heals, and I sell shirts and masks that I design, and the proceeds go to an arts organization near me, food banks. I also started choreographing with my friend Paul Craig. He's been my quarantine friend, and we choreographed a little pas de deux that was filmed and released, I guess, 3 weeks ago. It's called Reverie, and it's a call to action for people to use this time to be creative. So I've been pretty busy.
It sounds like it. As a dancer, do you prefer rehearsal or performance?
As a dancer, definitely performance. You know, there's of course the adrenaline and the nerves, but it's something that I crave and want more of. So that feeling of being in front of an audience is just, it's awesome. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. And that makes sense. Okay, so as a choreographer, rehearsal or performance?
So I would say rehearsal, because I love to bring my ideas to the dancers and see how they evolve. I love that whole process. And when it comes to performances, for watching my pieces, I get so nervous. It's like the most nerve-wracking thing for me. People always offer me a ticket to sit, and I say, just please give it away, because I'll be
going to be walking back and forth. Yeah, I asked Victoria Morgan as choreographer. As you know, she's the longtime artistic director. I think next season will be 25th year. When she did a big choreographic piece, when did you know it was a success? And she basically said 1.5 years later, when we expanded it and restaged it. And I think it took her like till the third performance until she was like, okay, this is working. So in talking about your process, then it's a good transition to the Cirio Collective. Explain what that's about and how that serves you and what your expectations are for it.
So Cirio Collective is a little company that my brother Jeffrey Cirio and I created in 2015. So it's been 6 years. We wanted to create a space with no boundaries, no directors being like, you have this music, you have this guideline, this set that you have to use. And so, yeah, we have been small. It's almost 10 dancers, and we've collaborated with different artists, a lot of musicians, videographers.
We could probably go on about that and where it could go, et cetera, but I want to jump to the lightning round, do the fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, favorite dance memory?
Dancing opening night of Aurora. I always say that was one of the best performances of my life. The dance gods just smiled down on me, and I had a show like the next day, but it wasn't as special. And I did it technically well, but it wasn't as special. So.
I would imagine it'd be almost impossible. Okay, favorite ballet by somebody else?
Wings of Wax, Yuri Killian.
Okay, walk-on song.
Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet.
It's a great song. Sweet or savory?
Spicy.
Remind me when I go out to dinner with you sometime to be very careful, because that's not me at all. Broadway or West End?
Broadway.
Okay. Dream travel destination post-lockdown?
Hawaii, because I was supposed to go for my friend's wedding. So.
Are they postponing?
Yes.
Okay, well, best of luck on that. La Bayadere or Le Corsaire?
La Bayadere.
Okay. Guilty pleasure?
The Bachelorette franchise.
You're the first one who's actually really gone all in on the guilty part.
Yeah.
Romantic classical tutu or pancake tutu?
Pancake tutu.
Palais Garnier, Royal Opera House, Metropolitan Opera House, or someplace else that we haven't thought of?
I think the Royal Opera House.
Okay. Rubies, emeralds, or diamonds?
Oh, diamonds.
Adagio or Grand Allegro?
I'm gonna say Grand Allegro because I miss flying across the anywhere, not just my kitchen.
Favorite city?
I'm gonna say Boston. I mean, why not live in your favorite city?
Absolutely, it's my hometown. I agree with you. Bar or center?
Center.
Okay. Beach or mountain? I think we know the answer to that.
Beach.
Yeah, especially with Hawaii. Okay, so we're gonna come back around to two questions. A couple of the other choreographers have mentioned, other than opportunity and getting their work seen, having a mentor. Do you have somebody that edits your work that you can go to and say, what do you think about this? Or is that not something you feel you need? And then what can Dance Data Project do to help?
I have sent myself to my brother because he's also a choreographer and I trust him a lot, but I think having a mentorship like that would be super helpful. And I have had offers, but I'm a little picky.
Oh,
and
sure.
So, yeah, but I think maybe just like you're asking what you guys can do, I think setting up something like that for young women would be a great idea, a mentorship like that.
Although it's definitely a very intense relationship, so it has to work on both sides. Any grand hopes? We're almost done time-wise, but any grand hopes for 2021 other than things opening back up?
Well, I am choreographing for the main stage for Boston Ballet. Yeah.
Excellent.
I think the last time I spoke to you, I was like, this is my dream.
Yep.
So I'm very excited about that. It's a culmination of all women artists. So I'm really proud to be a part of that.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us. I can't wait when we're back in the same space and I get to see your main stage work at Boston Ballet. And say hi to Miko and everybody for me. And thank you so much. Bye. Thank you. Bye.